The script should be dramatic, cinematic, and engaging like a professional YouTube geopolitical documentary. Use clear storytelling, suspense, and factual explanations so viewers stay engaged from beginning to end. Start with a powerful hook that immediately grabs attention by describing a tense moment in the Middle East, where tensions are rising between Iran and Western powers. Describe how the world is watching closely and fearing that the conflict could spiral into something far bigger, possibly a third world war. Explain the background of the conflict involving Iran and the United States. Discuss how tensions between the two countries have existed for decades, including sanctions, nuclear disputes, regional power struggles, and military confrontations in the Middle East. Describe Iran's role in the region and how it has influence through allies and proxy groups across countries such as Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, and Yemen. Explain how this network of influence has made the Middle East one of the most unstable geopolitical regions in the world. Next, explain the involvement of Israel and how its long-standing tensions with Iran contribute to the possibility of wider conflict. Describe Israel's concerns about Iran's nuclear ambitions and how this has led to covert operations, cyber warfare, and occasional military strikes. Then analyze how a regional war could draw in global powers. Introduce Russia and explain its strategic partnership with Iran, including military cooperation, economic ties, and shared opposition to Western influence. Discuss how Russia might support Iran through weapons supplies, intelligence sharing, or diplomatic backing. Explain the role of China as a global superpower that has strong economic relations with Iran, particularly through oil trade and infrastructure investments. Describe how China might avoid direct military involvement, but could still play a major role through economic support, diplomacy, and geopolitical strategy. Discuss the importance of the Strait of Hormuz, one of the most critical oil shipping routes in the world. Explain how nearly 1/5 of global oil passes through this narrow waterway, and how any disruption there could send shockwaves through the global economy. Describe what would happen if Iran attempted to block the Strait of Hormuz, and how the United States Navy and allied forces would likely respond. Explain the potential for naval battles, missile strikes, and cyber warfare in the Persian Gulf region. Analyze how the conflict could escalate step by step. Start with localized clashes between Iranian forces and U.S. allies, then expand to regional war involving multiple Middle Eastern countries. From there, explore how great powers could become involved either directly or indirectly. Create several realistic escalation scenarios. One scenario could involve a large attack on a U.S. military base in the Middle East, leading to a massive American retaliation. Another scenario could involve Israeli airstrikes on Iranian nuclear facilities. A third scenario could involve a naval confrontation in the Persian Gulf that spirals out of control. Explain how modern warfare has changed compared to previous world wars. Discuss cyber warfare, drone warfare, economic sanctions, and information warfare as tools that countries now use to weaken their opponents without necessarily launching full-scale invasions. Describe the role of nuclear weapons and how the existence of nuclear arsenals in countries like the United States, Russia, and China acts both as a deterrent and a major risk. If tensions escalate beyond control, explain how organizations such as the United Nations attempt to prevent global conflicts through diplomacy, negotiations, and international pressure. Discuss how global economies could be affected if a large-scale war begins. Mention rising oil prices, disruptions to trade routes, stock market crashes, and widespread economic instability. Explore how ordinary people around the world might feel the impact of such a conflict, including rising energy costs, political uncertainty, refugee crises, and humanitarian challenges. Add dramatic narration describing how history has shown that large wars sometimes begin with small incidents that escalate unexpectedly. Then transition into a broader analysis of global power competition between the United States, Russia, and China in the 21st century. Explain how these rivalries shape international politics and influence conflicts in different regions. End the script with a thoughtful conclusion that reflects on the fragile balance of global peace. Emphasize that while a global war is not inevitable, the tensions between powerful nations make it a possibility that the world cannot ignore. The tone should remain neutral, informative, and analytical, avoiding propaganda or extreme speculation. Use vivid storytelling, clear explanations, and strong narrative flow, so the script feels like a professional geopolitical documentary suitable for a long YouTube video.